What's up everybody, it's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today let's talk about the importance of the lesser known drum corps. Cue the music. What's up everybody? So I'm about to edit this video you're about to see right now, and let me just say thank you guys so much for clicking on it to watch it. Since it's about drum corps, if you guys like going to shows and taking lot videos in a lot, watching Drumlines warm up, consider sending your videos to the Drumline Blueprint media team. Why? If you send it to us, we'll post it on our social media channels on Drumline Blueprint, Drumline Chops, and you will get credit. So if you're interested in that, let us know what shows you're going to by clicking the link in the video description, and coordinate with our team and send the videos to them, and they will post it and you will get credit. Okay, so if you're down for that, like I said, click the link in the video description, and yeah, enjoy the video. Alright, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's the red button down below that says subscribe. That way you are notified first anytime I put out a new video in regards to the martial arts, drum corps, indoor percussion, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Make sure that notification bell is also ringing. That way you, for sure, will be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get to the video. Okay, so the importance of the lesser known drum corps. So I feel like, you know, this is something that everybody understands, right? It's like all the top 12 corps, like, you know, they get a lot of attention. Okay, so your Blue Devils, your Cadets, your Bluecoats, Santa Clara Vanguard, they get so much attention, right? It's like, you know, you just look at the views, right? Look at the views on any YouTube video. Like, those groups will get the most views out of any group. Now, of course, we also have open class. We have groups that, you know, are not in the top 12, and they probably don't get as much, you know, like curiosity or views or just general attention, right? And, you know, maybe it's just people are just so drawn to, like, you know, the top, like the best, right? Like, they're the top 12, like, you know, everybody's gonna want to watch them. Like, you go to any show, right? They're gonna want to watch the independent worlds, right? They're gonna want to watch the independent scholastic groups. Everybody packs the stadiums, packs the you know, the gyms for those groups. And then for everybody else, it's like, you know, maybe it's like a smattering of you know, audience members, and it's just not as many as the big groups. Okay, like this is just a fact of life. This is just how it is, right? Like, you know, you are marching for, you know, a lesser known group, and then maybe, like, you know, the crowd isn't as big as like the Bluecoats, or, like, you know, if you're a high school like Ayala High School, or, like, you know, Chino Hills High School and all that stuff, right? And, like, I'm not saying those groups don't deserve it. They do, okay? Like, they're amazing, and, you know, people should want to see them, okay? However, all right, I think that it is also important to give some love to the groups and the organizations that are not as high up there in the top 12, or, you know, because it's like, all right, like, yeah, of course, like, that's the reality of life, right? It's like, there's gonna be groups who are better, and there's gonna be groups who are not as good, okay? I'm not saying, like, all of a sudden we should be like, you know, yeah, overhyping, you know, everybody, okay? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that, you know, like, give people some love, right? Like, even if they're not in the top 12, even if they're not Scholastic World or Independent World, like, go to the lot, check them out, like, give some love. And, you know, sometimes, like, you know, like, people kind of obsess over these things, right? Like, especially on the internet, right? Like, even the top 12 groups, right? Like, if they hear any kind of dirt, it's like people comment like, dirt, like, that's dirty, oh my god, that sucks, right? And it's like, you know, maybe that's why people don't want to watch those groups, because maybe they're a little bit dirtier, right? Maybe they're not as clean as, you know, the top groups, and then people don't want to watch that, right? But I want to argue that, like, I think it's important to watch everybody and kind of check everybody out, even if they're dirty, even if it's not that good. Because it's like, I am of the opinion that, like, every point of the development, or every point of somebody's journey or somebody's process is valid, okay? Because how do you get from, you know, like, how do you get to an advanced level? How do you get to those top groups? Well, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start, and I've made these videos before where it's like, you know, the cleanest lines and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, they weren't clean all the time, right? When they started in camp, they were probably dirty, right? So it's a process, it takes time. So it's like, you can't just, like, dismiss a group's dirt in the beginning of the season and just think, oh, they're gonna suck, right? When they have an entire season to kind of clean things up, and by the time the finals rolls around, it's like, yeah, like, you know, they're clean. It's like, it's amazing, right? But it's like, you don't want to dismiss it in the beginning when they're dirty and just be like, well, I don't want to watch them. Well, why not, right? It's part of the process. That's what makes it beautiful, right? It's like, you go from, you know, one part of the process, which is just the beginning, playing dirty, figuring stuff out, like, you know, just the parts just aren't in your hands that much yet, right? You haven't been playing it all summer. And then all of a sudden it just kind of clicks towards the end because like you've been playing it every single day. You've been rehearsing stuff every single day. You've been chunking stuff every single day. Let's take it letter A to C, again, A to C, again, A to C, again. Okay, now let's go D to E. Here we go, again. Like those reps, those, you know, rehearsals, like that's what cleans things up. That's how things get clean, okay? But you can't dismiss any part of the process because that's how you get good, right? It's like, you know, you don't want to just like, well, be like, for example, okay, you're ashamed of like your playing because, you know, you're not that good, you're a beginner, you're just starting out. You don't want to post a drumming video showing your progress because you don't want people to clown you. You don't want people to like say, oh, he sucks, or, you know, you suck, or, you know, lower your tap heights, blah 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 blah, right? And it's like, yo, like, don't worry about that stuff, because again, okay, have like love for the part of the process that you're in, which is like you're just figuring stuff out. You're just learning how to play drums. And you know, if things aren't clean, if your heights aren't that good, like if you are playing dirty, it's okay. Embrace that part of the process where you're just like, I'm just figuring stuff out, okay? So there is validity in every part of the process, and I think we all need to appreciate success as well as failure, okay? So, like that's all, like I said, it's all valid. You know, people, you know, like the most successful people in the world have to go through many, like they have to go through so much failure, so much adversity, so many challenges, and they had to overcome all of it in order to get good. Okay, let's take another example of the importance of, you know, like the lesser known groups, okay? So did you know there's a lot of people who are higher up there in the activity who only marched like a lesser known corps, okay? Like, let's take an example of like John Mapes, okay? Like John Mapes marched only, okay, Pacific Crest, okay? And you're just thinking like, okay, like that's, okay, so what, right? Well, John Mapes is one of the most successful people in the activity, like straight up, right? So it's like, well, if you, wouldn't it be cool, right? To just be like, man, I saw John Mapes in the lot, like drumming for Pacific Crest, and I did, okay, because I was marching for another, okay, lesser known group at the time, which was, you know, and it still is, Impulse, okay? I came from a lesser known group, all right? And, like, that's where I aged out, okay? So it's like, you know, I saw him because we were like basically on the same tour. Like, you know, we performed, like both Impulse and Pacific Crest had a performance one year where we're just like, we were back to back. Like, so I saw them, okay? So I saw John Mapes playing snare at Pacific Crest, okay? So it's like, that's kind of cool, all right? But if you thought, well, I don't want to watch Pacific Crest because, you know, they're a lesser known corps, well, then you missed out on that. Does that make sense, right? There is talent everywhere. You have no idea who's going to blow up and who's gonna be like the next like big name in the activity, okay? And just because they come from a top 12 corps does not guarantee that they will be, okay? This is true, this is a fact, right? I'm not saying that like if you march a top 12 group, like you won't be successful. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is like, it's not a guarantee, right? It's not a guarantee that you'll be successful in the activity. It's not a guarantee that you'll be successful in life, okay? Let's take this, you know, in another direction, right? So like, for example, if you look at it as like, you know, well, you have to like go to a top college in order to be successful in life. You have to go to a Yale or a Harvard or some bigwig school to be ultra successful. Is that true? No, not at all. There are people who dropped out of high school. There are people who like went to like some no-name college, okay? There are people who had really rough upbringings and they became super rich and super successful. So is that an indicator that like going to a prestigious college is gonna like say that you're gonna be successful? Of course not, right? So for example, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. Have you heard of those guys? Okay, Bill Gates, Microsoft, Steve Jobs, Apple, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, okay? These guys dropped out of college, okay? They did not graduate with a college degree, and look at how successful they are, right? Okay, Gary Vaynerchuk, he went to a lesser known college, Mount Ida College. Tony Robbins was abused as a kid. I mean, hello, okay? Just because they had these humble, like, you know, backgrounds, humble, like, you know, beginnings, did not indicate that like they weren't going to be successful. Does that make sense, right? So you can march, all right? And I want people to understand that, like, you know, I don't want you to think, well, I don't want to march a lesser known group because, you know, it means that I won't be successful. It means that like my experience is not valid compared to the top groups. Well, what I'm telling you is, it's so valid, okay? So go march wherever you feel like that you want to march. Go march somewhere where you feel like you can enjoy the experience, where you can learn something, okay? It's not always about where you march, it's about what you get out of it, okay? And like, you can get a lot out of marching any group, okay? Do you hear what I'm saying, okay? So I'm not saying don't march, I'm not saying don't march a top 12 group or a really well-known group, a group that's gonna get a lot, like big lots, big big audiences in the lot, or like, you know, like you know, a lot of views on YouTube. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying give some love to the lesser known corps, okay? And that is my message for today. All right, so cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. Hopefully this kind of expanded your mind a little bit to give some love to the lesser known groups, right? Go to their lots and like have fun, enjoy it. Drumming is drumming, and if it's not clean, fuck it. Like, everybody has, you know, a process. Everybody has, you know, their journey, and like, embrace all of it. I'm just saying, like, you know, try to recognize that there's talent everywhere, and we should appreciate every single group that's out there. They're all working hard. They all have a valid experience, and yeah, it's like, show them some love too. Okay? All right, so cool. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any questions or comments or would like to add to this conversation, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. If you guys marched a lesser known group, please let me know that as well. And you know, just let me know your experience, right? From, you know, one person to another who has marched a lesser known group, okay? Like an open class group or something like that, right? So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And what you guys should do next is you guys should totally watch more of my videos by clicking over here and then subscribing over here. Peace out. Catch you guys on the next video.